So, yeah, getting back to the story. I'm waiting. But let me just say, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, she really don't like Tasha. She really don't like her. She always bring her up. It's not that. It's because when I get closer to like putting, the story times that I started on TikTok onto my YouTube, then it would make sense of why I keep pinpointing her. That's why if you don't watch the videos in sequence, a lot of stuff doesn't make sense. But I'm trying to like teach y'all, like, y'all need to watch out for people like that. Because while I'm saying I don't like bullies, I don't like bullies. I despise bullies because I was bullied when I was younger. Because even my son, when he got into high school, my oldest son, he was even around a lot of people, that was bullying other kids. And the teachers, I had 2 teachers call me about it. They was like, it's not my son that's doing it, but he's around other kids that's doing it. And I had a talk with him, and I told him, because my son was always bigger than the average kid. So he was always looking like he was 18 since he was like 13, 14 years old. So of course nobody would bully him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was always bigger. But I told him just like that, don't be that kid that's around other kids that's bullying a kid, and then y'all come to school the next day and that kid ended up killing them, unaliving themselves because of your friends. And I told him to cut it out. Either stop them from bullying or don't be around that group. Because my son, he didn't experience bullying because he was always bigger than the average boy. So they knew, like, they could probably talk about him behind his back, but they would not dare to say nothing to his face because he was always bigger. Unlike my daughter, who is smaller and really quiet and timid, like, she's the easy target because girls, like, they know who they can and can't mess with. Just like dudes, y'all know who y'all can and can't mess with. So me staying with them for like 4 or 5 months, no, it was 5 to 6 months or 7 months, I forgot, but it was a while that I stayed with them, and I noticed that they were doing that, especially the youngest one. And for somebody who was still pissing in the bed and having to wear pull-ups because she kept pissing in the bed and making the room smell like pee, for you to sit there and bully somebody else for what? Because y'all mother, and it was not only her, like, they will not admit it, but they were all mean to her. They were all mean to her in their own little way, and then tried to disguise it, because even they tried to get my son in trouble sometimes. And I think it rooted because here they have their mothers and their mom is out in the street chasing after some dude and would make excuses of not being there for them. Yeah, she'd pick them up, drop them at her mom's house, and then go about her business. And they will constantly make excuses and then come back and try to throw it in, Jolene's daughter's face. Like, oh, look at what my mom bought me. But who's sitting there helping out with your school projects? Who's sitting there and helping y'all do your hair? Who's sitting there and getting your clothes and everything? Mind you, a lot of times they thought it was Jolene being the mean one, but as I think they got older, they saw how manipulating their dad was. They seen how evil he was. And a lot of times he would do things to Jolene, and they knew, they were smart enough to keep all the kids in the house, in the room, and not call the police, while he's literally having this woman in the bathroom and beating the crap out of her. They we ended up Jolene ended up finding out the whole time that they were in Tampa, while they're not having food and she has to struggle and put food on their back, their dad is still sleeping with their mom. When he would leave when he would leave to go like for loads and stuff, because he's a truck driver. He was truck driving first before Jolene started. He was secretly going to see their mom and cheating on Jolene with their mom. So it's like, of course y'all would have some animosity towards Jolene's daughter, because at the end of the day, y'all mom's not there and she's the one's there. She's the one's taking the beating for y'all. She's the one who's getting yelled at. She's the one who's absorbing all this negativity while y'all sit there and are jealous because Jolene's there for her daughter and you guys, and all your mom could do is just buy you things that y'all gonna break, that y'all not gonna use, y'all just gonna put away in the closet and y'all not gonna remember it. Just like fathers, it's the time that you spend with your children that they will cherish the memories. Buying things for them, and I've learned that because my kids break things like all the time when I get them things. But the times that we've gone to Fort Myers and we've gone to parks and we've gone to the trampoline, we went to birthday parties, they cherish those memories. So even with me staying with them, I seen that. And that's why I didn't, in all honesty, everybody kept thinking like I went back to Tampa because, like I wanted to be with him. No, even though he was messaging me, constantly. He wanted to be with me. Constantly after we started getting back on good terms. No, it was not because Fort Myers was really country, and then like my car was starting to act up, and then two, I knew the longer that I stayed at their house, we was not gonna be friends due to the fact like I seen the manipulations that Nixon was doing to Jolene, and I can't say nothing about their relationship. They're helping me out at the end. And then I would see how the kids would treat Jolene's daughter. And then it was even more disgusting seeing how Nixon was turning his two sons against each other. Like to the point, the older son already knows he's the favorite. Now the younger son is acting out because he's trying to get approval from his dad, and his dad is constantly reminding him that he will never be as good as the oldest one. I could not be around that environment. I hate bullies. I really do. Especially if it's somebody that don't bother you and they stay to themselves. I sincerely do not like bullies.